All right, number 12, we want to consider the piecewise function, and we want to evaluate it at x equals 7. And what we need to do is we have two functions here, and to the right we have some domains or some restrictions. The first function, 3 divided by 4x minus 3, and it says if x is less than 4. So that means we only want to use values less than 4. So that would be 3, 2, 1, and so forth and so on. And then the bottom function, x plus 5, we only want to use that one if x is greater than or equal to 4. So when they want us to express x equals 7, we got to know which one do we plug it in. You have to make sure you look at the restrictions. So the one that says x is greater than 4, so that'd be 5, 6, 7, and on, that would include 7. So we want to plug it in here. So all we want to do is take our function x plus 5, and then we're going to plug in a 7. And that gives us 12. So our value is a 12 here. Then number 2, we want to evaluate at x equals 4. Okay, so look, they both have 4 in it, but only one of them have equality. So if x is greater than or equal to 4. So you don't want to use the first function because it's only less than 4. The bottom function is x is greater than or equal to 4. So we want to use it on the bottom one. So we're going to say f of 4, and then we're going to do 4 plus 5, and we get 9. Okay. There we go. And then we want to plug in 1, and so when we plug in 1, that's going to be the first function. F of 1, and we're going to do 3 over 4 times 1 minus 3. That's going to give us 3 over 4 minus 3 over 1, which we got to get a common denominator. We're going to multiply top and bottom by 4. And so this will give us 3 over 4 minus 12 over 4. And that will give us 9 over 4. A negative 9 over 4. All right, number 13. We're going to do the same thing. However, this time I want to show you something. I say for fun because I learned how to do it. And you can watch the video multiple times if you want. Or if you don't like this, you can just do it by hand. But I do want to show you how to do this with technology. So hopefully if you have the 84, sometimes I know the buttons are a little bit different. I mean, the process to get to some of these things we're going to be doing is a little bit different in the apps on the phone. But if you use a little YouTube video tutorial, you can probably figure it out, the subtle differences that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to y equal. I'm turn it on. I'm going to go to y equal. I'm going to clear out what I have here. And then for the first function, I'm going to type in the first function. So negative x squared plus 2x plus 5. And then, I guess I should have put this in parentheses first. Let me go back. So in order to add parentheses, I have to do insert, the blue button. I have to do second, and then delete to insert. And I'm going to put this in parentheses. The reason why I want to do that is because I'm going to add this restriction at the back. The way you do the restriction is you have to do divided by, and then we're going to open parentheses, and we're going to put x less than 3. So I'm going to do x, and then you have to go to math. Nope. We're actually going to go to angle. So do second and the apps button to get angle. No, hold on. Maybe it is math. Math. Let me think for just a second. Where are those angle buttons? It's in test. Okay, you got to do second math. That's right. Second math. It's in test. So here we get those inequality symbols. And then we want the less than symbol. So I was thinking math, but it was the test button that I needed. Okay, and then 3, and then close parentheses. So this is going to do the first part of the graph only for the part that's less than 3. So if I hit graph right now, you'll see a graph that will stop around 3. So that's 3. So it's kind of like a parabola, but it stops over here. We've restricted that value. I'm going to go back to y equal. I'm going to go down to y2, and I'm going to enter the second function. So negative 4x minus 6. And then, oh, I forgot parentheses again. So second, insert, open parentheses, and then close. You want to do that because it will not compute correctly if you don't put that in parentheses. We're going to do divided by, and I think it will take the greater than or equal to x. I think sometimes you have to do it separately, but we'll see. So what I mean separately is I'm going to open parentheses. I think we have to do math. Keep doing math. Second math. So they have a greater than or equal to, but I think you have to do greater than, and then you have to do the and, which we'll see. Let me test it out first. Let me see if I can do the greater than or equal to first. And if it doesn't work, I'll show you how to do the other one. Forgot to add x. Second, insert x. X greater than or equal to 7. Okay, we're going to graph this so you can see what's going on. And I don't see that graph, so negative 4x minus 6. So okay, yeah, so greater than 7. So if you were to plug a 7 in x, that'll be 28. So the graph is just way off the screen. So let me go back to graph. I'm going to go to window, and I'm going to drop down. Let's say, let me just make my x max like 20. And let me make my y minimum because it's way below. Let's make it like a negative 50. It's much bigger than what we need. Right now, if I graph it, you should see, yeah, there's that line right there, starting at 7. Okay, so in order to get those values, all we have to do is plug them in. So if we want x equals 7, that's going to be this graph. So let me see if it works with the greater than or equal to. The way you get the value is you have to do, I think you can just hit trace. Just hit trace, and then type the number 7. And hit enter. Okay, so right now it's on Y1, and you do not get a value for 7 at Y1. So if you arrow down, it should go to Y2, and then just type 7 again and hit enter, and then it gives you a value, negative 34. So it's a little bit of process plugging it into the calculator. Okay, we can do it pretty easily by hand. So maybe you want to do that, but I did want to at least show you that you have that availability to use that one. So this one we get negative 34. All right, and I'm going to do all 3 of them this way. So now we want to do 6. So this one is greater than 7, so 6 is going to be on the first one. So you see my cursor is on Y2. I just need to arrow up so that I'm on Y1. And then if I hit 6 and then enter, it's not showing me. So look, none of them get 6. because this one is only defined for x is less than 3, so that'd be 2, 1, and below. And this one is only defined for greater than 7. So even if I were to arrow down to the y2 graph and then hit 6, I get no y value. There are no x values from 4, 5, and 6 in between 3 and 7. So this one is undefined. There's no value there. And then the third one at x equals 0, that is going to be the first equation. So I'm going to arrow up and then type 0 and then hit enter, and we get a y value of 5. So it's a process to plug it in, but once you get it plugged in, it really speeds up the process. But again, you can just easily plug those numbers in for x here and here whenever you use it and still get the answer the way we did in the previous problem.